Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how you doing? Drop the Gloves, episode 18. Brought to you by the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. If you haven't checked them out, here's what you got to do. You got to go to the Facebook page. You got to give that page a like, and then you are going to be kept up to date on everything they have to offer with both their vitamins and their supplements and everything you need to keep working toward that late spring, early summer body. Sun's been out this week, although it's going to snow again this weekend. Sun's out. Going to melt some of that ice. Going to melt some of the snow. Going to get the lake ready for the lake life summer. If you want to look your best when you go to the lake, you need to check out our good friends at Underdog Nutrition. We're back in the dining room studios after a 3-week break. Little bit of discussion with tonight's guests about kind of where I was, where they was, kind of what happened. I'm busy this time of year with my job, with my kids and the girls and their state hockey, and then I had to go out of state for work, and then we got back, and so I was able to catch up with Coach Hayes. He sat down for about 45 minutes. We had a real good conversation wrapping up the regular season. The boys have a bye this week, awaiting the Great Falls Badlands or Butte Bozeman series. If it goes chalk, it looks like we will be hosting Bozeman next week. But you don't know. You don't know by the time this comes out. Badlands will have played Great Falls last night. na3hl.com is where you can get all of your scores, stats, info. You can read up a little bit on how the playoff series are structured and how they work. That's everything you want to have there. So since I last saw you guys, boys were getting ready to host the home series with Helena. They dropped both those. They then went and swept Butte and Badlands on the road to close out the season, which wrapped up second place in the Frontier Division for the Wild. What that means is, if everything goes as planned, in a couple weeks, we're going to have to win. We're going to have to win a game in Helena to win that series and move on to the Fraser Cup back in Minnesota or St. Louis, wherever they have that back east somewhere amongst that crowd. First things first, boys get a bye week this week. Talked to Ethan a little bit about that. They had a little fun on Monday, and then it got more serious. They ain't taking no days off. The boys want to be on the ice. Pretty healthy, relatively healthy. This is a good week to heal up. You see sometimes in the other sports that bye week sometimes can bite you in the ass. I guess we'll wait and see. The regular season wraps up on paper, it's the best Gillette Wild team that's ever been put on the ice. The most wins the organization has ever had through a regular season. We have a new career goals, assists, and total points leader with Declan Young, and we broke attendance records multiple times. It was hard to be out of town and see that Saturday night Helena game that there was damn near 1,400 people at Spirit Hall. I hope it's like that first playoff game we host next week. I am being a little selfish in saying this. I want to announce and play music and have fun with 1,400 or 1,500 people that are in the mood to go batshit crazy at a hockey game. So it's going to be fun. So it's about all we got. We get to a lot of things with Ethan. He's a cool dude. I think he's got more comfortable with a lot of us with Gillette in general, and I know him and I from the first times we have met and talked through the season to now, there seems to be a lot more comfort and just a lot more friendship in the conversation we can have, and the stuff he's willing to share about his experiences here in town, how he feels things went from the coaching standpoint, from the general manager standpoint, the business compliments, the business side of things compliments that he gives Gillette, you guys, the fans, us, the volunteers. Like it's a good conversation. So I think you guys are going to like it. So without further ado, let's get to Coach Hayes. Okay, head coach Ethan Hayes, thanks for taking some time out tonight. I haven't seen you for about a month, so
yeah. Where you been?
I've been gone, man. So sometimes work gets in front of play, so I apologize for that.
Not happy about it.
No, I'm not happy either. I was not. There was some fun had. There was also some work that had to go into it. So, you guys, let's talk about kind of wrapping up the end of the season. So, last time that I talked to you guys was before heading into the Helena weekend. So 2 tight games. You drop those,
yeah.
But then you go on the road and take care of business back-to-back weekends. So kind of before you go into this week off and stuff in the playoffs, how did things kind of end there at the end of the season?
I mean, except for Helena, everything ended good in our favor. We, obviously want to get as many points as we can. We're the 2 seed. That's our reality. Helena beat us by 1 game, which kind of sucks, but that's the position we put ourselves in. So just moving forward and looking forward, we're trying to get healthy. We only have 2 guys that are not healthy right now, and Leighton and Ian. And Ian might be done for the year, and Larry should be back with us for the first playoff weekend. So everything's looking pretty good, but I'm extremely confident moving forward. I think the guys have the mindset that winning is, the only thing that matters now, being playoffs, and they have a excellent work ethic. We had an easy day of practice today, but, everyone's biting the bullet to get back to the grind and get better and keep working, and, we're excited.
Well, when you talk about, like moving on, first of all, that's, you did a couple things this year. You guys, it's fun to be back at Spirit Hall for the hockey games. That kind of disappeared there a few years ago. So it's back. It's good hockey.
That's all the guys, man.
Yeah. Well, you it's okay. I mean, you're very humble. You're very humble, and the guys you brought in have done what was asked of them. But you brought these guys in, and they're very complimentary of you as a leader and stuff like that. But you've made it. You guys as a group, when I say that, have made it fun to be back at Spirit Hall. I hope, like us, just not only the volunteers but the crowd and Gillette have let you know that it's cool to have a good hockey team.
Yeah, a lot of people compliment us on that. It's hard for me to take compliments, but we still got some work to do. So we're not really ready to just be content and comfortable with what we've done. We want to go to the national tournament. We want to perform at our best there, and we want to send a message that we're here for a while, and we want to be taken serious. So that's what we're working for. That's our goal.
I think that's something you guys have accomplished, is that it's Gillette's. You guys, it's a good hockey team, and when you come down, you're going to have to play good hockey to compete and to win. The regular season, the first part of that. The most wins ever as a franchise. You guys did that this year. Is that a goal? I know that's not the main goal, but there's got to be a little bit of pride in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super proud of what these guys have done. Absolutely, couldn't be more proud. Even with being the 2 seed and losing 2 games at home to Helena, these guys are warriors, and they have the compete mindset that we're looking for, and it's hard to be perfect for 47 games. Anybody that tells you that that's an easy task, they're liars. It doesn't matter how good you are. Keeping 25 to 30, 18 to 20-year-olds focused for 47 games straight is hard to do. But these guys, you know, they've done a really good job, and we lost some games at the showcase that I don't think we should have lost. I don't think we should have lost to Helena. I don't think they're better than us, but that's me being maybe a little bit overconfident and a little bit cocky too. But I'm extremely confident in the boys. These guys are, like I said, they're warriors, and they want to win, and they have a mindset that it's winning or we didn't accomplish what we need to do.
And I don't think it's a situation where I agree with you wholeheartedly. I don't think it's you guys are as good as anybody that either in the Frontier or that I've watched on the hockey TV, where there were nights Helena might have been better for a period, and that was the difference in the game, and that's what's setting up for it. It's the same as what we talked about all year leading up, and hopefully that's where we're leading here is another opportunity in a series for you guys in Helena. But getting back to what kind of has been accomplished this year, and it's a compliment too to the boys. When we talked to them, they were never patting themselves on the back over sweeps and big wins, and even the wins against Helena, they knew there were bigger things coming. So I mean, the first thing, you get a week here to get your ducks in a row, get guys healthy. Gillette's never won a postseason series before, so that's the first thing to accomplish.
Right, and that's all
big.
That we're thinking about right now. We don't care about Helena. We don't care about the finals. We don't care about the national tournament right now. All we're worried about is that first game, whenever it is, whoever it is. It'll be Bozeman or Butte, in my opinion. But that's what we're focused on right now. And going back to our goals, you know, the guys set season goals before we even got on the ice. I mean, we had our first season meeting and we set goals as a team before everybody even knew each other, and winning 40 games was one of the goals. We accomplished that. Our other goal that we didn't accomplish was winning the division, and the next big goal as a team goal was getting to the national tournament. So just to answer your goal question, I kind of skipped over it, but yeah, those are what they wanted to accomplish together, and we're real close to, you know, checking the box on another one. As
you get this week off here to prepare, so from the coaching and the setup standpoint, kind of did this stuff change in the practice routine this week? Do you want to rest guys, or kind of how do you build into this week leading up to, you know, the series next week?
Well, today we just kind of had fun at practice today. We had a 3-on-3 tenny ball tournament, which I don't know if anybody listening or you
I don't know what that means.
Have ever tried to handle a tennis ball with a hockey puck on the ice. It's extremely hard. It's totally different than a puck. There's no weight to it. They're weightless.
So you're playing 3-on-3 with the tennis ball.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
In zone. So we set up a bracket. We picked. There was 5 teams, so one team got a break every once in a while, and I played. I mean, today was about having fun, getting back to the core of why these guys are even here, because hockey's their passion and it's fun to them. But tomorrow's going to be right back to business and making sure that we're prepared for whoever it is that we play. You know, we're not going to change a whole bunch of things and try to make this rocket science and try to, you know, draw X's and O's better than somebody else. We're going to stick with what has got us here, which is running our systems and being really good at our systems. And just these other teams that we play, they know we're going to run them. We're just so good at running them that they can't stop it anyway. So that's what we're going to keep working on, and it'll be business as usual tomorrow. And for the rest of the week, we'll practice Friday and Saturday this weekend because we don't have games, but consensus from the locker room was they wanted to be on the ice. So it's a good, like I said, these guys are warriors and they want to win just as bad as I do. So they wanted to practice this weekend and we're doing it.
It seems like the camaraderie, the cohesion of the group has been strong all year, but has it grown through the year? Have they got closer? And
oh, for sure.
There's probably some little piddly bullshit that we don't know about that you might, of little bickering, which you're going to have with 18 to 20-year-old boys together all the time. But they all seem to genuinely buy into what they're working for.
Absolutely. This is in my opinion, which it's the only thing that matters because I'm the only one saying it, but this is the tightest knit group that I've been a part of, you know, in all the years that I've played and all the years that I was with Great Falls 2 years prior to this, and we won 41 games in the regular season with Great Falls my first year there. But there was little cliques in that team, and guys would just hang out with certain guys, and they would only spend time with guys outside of their hockey rink if they were certain guys. But these guys aren't like that. Everybody's included. Everybody is equal. There's always going to be some bickering and some disagreements and whatnot, but they handle it like men. There's even been fights at practice, which I love it because it means the compete level is extremely high, and they want to, they're playing to win. So when the compete level is that high, there's always going to be some heads butted. But like I said, they handle it like men. When it's over, and they move on, and they're back to the team. Once that practice is over, they're back to being team. They look forward to tomorrow, and they get back to, hey, we're all friends here.
Now, along with the head coaching, the title is the general manager and head coach. So back through the GM role through this year, was there any headaches and shit that popped up that maybe you weren't expecting? How much time do you have to spend with that hat on as opposed to the head coaching hat on? And was there anything that kind of caught you off guard on that this year?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. The ownership group gives me that title, but I don't actually, I don't deal with the money part. I don't have to worry about the bank account. I don't worry about all the GM job gives me, that tag just gives me the freedom to bring in and send out whoever I want. There was some guys that we brought in the middle of the year that just didn't fit our group. They couldn't get along with the guys in our group that were here. Our team that was already set. We try to add to it whenever we can, but one guy didn't work out. He was sent home a week later. That's the part of the GM that I deal with. I don't deal with the business side of things. Is our ownership group, and they do a really good job, making sure that we have everything we need when we need it, and I just deal with the players.
Now, from the player standpoint, even working on through the end of this season, do you have to be looking ahead a little bit from the GM side of things?
I've already signed 3 guys for next year.
Gotcha. So when are you doing that? Like, how does the time work on when are you watching games on Hockey TV? Is it people back east letting you know about guys, or kind of how does that work?
So I have connections in Wisconsin and Minnesota just because that's where I'm from. I grew up on the border of Wisconsin, Minnesota, on the Wisconsin side, thank God. But yeah, so I know a lot of coaches in back in that area, and actually Larry's dad has took a recruiting hat, put it on, and actually done a lot of good things. He's worked really well. He's made connections with a ton of Minnesota kids, southern Minnesota kids where they're from. So he's been helping me. We wouldn't have signed a couple of the kids without him. So he's helping me quite a bit. We have a guy in Washington, looking at guys in Washington. I just talked to a guy in Denver that he's going to help us. So it is always my decision, right? But I trust these guys because one, the guy in Denver played here, then played college hockey. Larry's dad, Dean Weisler, played NCAA Division I, won a national championship with St. Cloud, played pro hockey, so he knows what he's looking for. The guy in Washington played junior hockey and college hockey. He knows what he's looking for, so I trust them. If they tell me there's a guy that is going to be good for our group, I always talk to him on the phone myself before we get too far, just to make sure their character is good and they have the right mindsets, that they're going to come in here and be blue-collar workers and they're going to earn everything they get. Nothing's given, and that stuff. But these guys know what they're looking for with hockey players, and I trust them. And it's a huge help to have more eyes out there all over, because if I had to do it myself, I have to be here till the end of the year. Tenders have to be signed by April 20th or something like that. There's no way I would get all of our stuff signed without help. So, but it's fun. I love the recruiting side of it. You get to meet a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. A lot of guys tell you no, but that's part of it. They have other dreams and other goals and things that don't involve us, and that's okay, but got to turn over every stone that comes by. Otherwise, you're not really doing your job to the best of your ability if you let something slide by.
What's something you get asked from a lot of these guys, or are there questions about the Frontier or Gillette in particular?
Yeah,
What's
everyone
the
says,
number one question you get?
Where's Gillette?
Okay. And then is there a hesitation to come here? Is it they don't want to come?
Well, see, like I said, most of my recruiting is done in Wisconsin, Minnesota, which is Minnesota is 100% the hotbed of hockey in the nation, if not the world, in my opinion. But I haven't really traveled the whole world, so I don't know. But those guys that are from that area, for them to leave everything they know, which is Minnesota hockey is best, Wisconsin hockey's behind Minnesota hockey, but not by far. They want to make sure that what they're doing is the best decision for them and their family. So if we have to kind of sell the program. I have to sell the program. I have to sell Gillette. I have to sell the experience, because they know they can do, they can play junior hockey in Minnesota where they're from. But for me, the selling point is getting away from your parents, getting away from the nest, figuring out who you are as an individual, developing independence, being, figuring out how to solve problems on your own, meet new people, just the experience of someplace new, right? And Gillette is a good place to do that. I mean, it's a really clean city. There's a lot of money here. There's a ton of support from the community here, as everyone can see that goes to the game. I mean, it's an incredible place to play hockey, but when you're from Minnesota and you've never heard of Gillette, you don't think of it as a hockey town, and that's okay, because I didn't either before I came here and, we started having success. But once they understand our culture that we've built here and what we do on the day-to-day and how we do things and, the success that we have, every kid wants to be a winner. Every kid wants to be on a winning team. So winning 41 games out of 47 really, really helps us in the recruiting aspect of things, because kids want to, they don't want to, who wants to go to a team that loses?
Shit kicked out of you every weekend.
No. So it helps us that the guys that we have here have worked their ass off to put us in a position to recruit some really good players. So we, like I said, we have 3 players signed already, and they're all going to come in and be impact players right away. So I'm excited for next year, but I'm definitely not looking past what we have to still accomplish.
But you have.
But that is part of it. Yeah,
that's your job.
Right.
So maybe even a little more where you get a week off here, where maybe not so much game plan. And I know you have a good idea in the back of your head.
There's no
shit you have to do.
Yeah, there's no days off, and
yeah,
we get Sundays off, and it's really good to take a break from the rink, take a break from the guys, just not think about hockey. But for me, I don't get that. Like, I spend 8 hours on the phone on Sundays, at least 6 hours a day on the phone weekdays. If we don't do that, like I said, we're not working as hard as we can, and something slips by. Some other team signs one of the kids that we're talking to because we didn't call them. I don't want that to happen. I'm sure it does happen still, but we have to work our asses off to make sure that we continue this winning culture, continue the success that we've had, and build on it. We want to hang banners. I mean, that was our goal in the beginning of the year. Like I said, we want to hang banners. We want to win the division. We want to win the regular season point race, which Granite and Helena ended up beating us this year, but we're close. We're right there, and we're only going to get better because we're going to keep working our balls off.
When you talk to kids or on the recruiting trail side of things, like where Declan gets signed, is that as big a deal on kids want to see that people are coming to Gillette and getting looked at?
Absolutely.
Is that a thing in the Frontier, or kind of what aspect does that play in the recruiting process?
If we can prove that we can get guys moved on to college and make sure that every kid coming through here has an opportunity to play college hockey, it definitely plays a part in the recruiting aspect of things also. And seeing that Division III schools are interested in our guys definitely helps a lot. If you're a kid and you want to play college hockey and you don't get, you kind of realize that D1 might be just a little bit out of reach, but you still have a shot if you can work for 2 or 3 years to get there. But you end up playing Division III, like that's a lot of kids' goals. And since we can prove that we can put kids in Division III programs, they see that, and it absolutely, instantly gets more exciting.
Does the NA3 work on that with the coaches? Is it the Frontier? Is it you guys? Because I saw there was a few times there were what I assumed were college coaches at the games here. So
Yeah.
is the NA3, is that part of their business model on getting the kids here
So-
to get them looked at, or how does that work?
The NA3 does a good job with the showcase in Blaine. The showcase in Blaine, every NA team, which is our big brother, has to have a coach there, not just a recruiter, an actual coach to watch the games. And, we had Isaac Young got talked to there by an NA coach, and there's tons, and there's probably 100 to 150 schools there, if not more. I honestly don't know how many show up, but there's so many ACHA schools and Division III schools in that region that there could be more than 100, 150. I truthfully don't know how many were there, but they do a really good job on setting that up. So if schools are coming out here to watch guys in Gillette, they're doing that on their own time. They're interested in our players enough to where they come out here on their own time. They spend their own money. They use their recruiting budget to come watch our guys, which is really cool. And that has happened. I've talked to 4 or 5 coaches throughout the year that come to our games and they want to talk to some players after the game and figure out what their goals are and where they want to be regionally in the U.S. and see if what their school has to study is anything that interests our guys. And it's a really good thing.
One of the things that happened earlier in the year that I didn't know how to take it, and I had called you when it happened, was when Jack got the chance to go to Alaska.
Yep.
And do that, and you talked about that's what these kids, that's what they're playing for. I call them kids, the young men. That's what they're playing for.
They're kids.
Yeah, they're kids. So that's what they're playing for, is a chance to go to that next level. And you said the group could not have been more happier for him to get that chance. Is it the same way then? Like when they see Declan get that letter and go to do that, was that something that?
Oh yeah, everybody.
Celebrates?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's happy for him. Everybody, that's been his goal since, like he said in the, in his little write up, he told the guys that's been his goal since he started playing junior hockey, and it's probably been his goal a lot longer than that, but he did something that not a lot of guys get to do, and he worked his ass off to get it. He's been putting up great numbers for 3 years. He's constantly been, working all summer long trying to do that. He puts on camps for kids all summer. He does all the right things. And to tell you the truth, which maybe he doesn't want this to be out there, but he's never had a beer. Like, he doesn't party. He's totally focused on hockey and whatever his goals are in life. Because of the way he's handled hockey, he's going to achieve them. His work ethic is second to none, and his attitude is always goal driven. He might take a day off here and there, but everybody needs a day off here and there. I do, you do,
Yep.
So, but everything that he does has been working towards this goal, and I couldn't be more proud of him and happy for him.
And that's something I knew he was goal driven. I didn't get down into that level of stuff, but I've got to know him and been around him enough to know he's hockey. Hockey is what he does. So
it's his passion for sure.
To take that serious, because the hockey, call it lifestyle, whatever, it's the boys in Letterkenny, the screwing off. There's a lot of shit you can get caught up in hockey-wise and get derailed. To stay on that track, and then this even kind of leads what I was going to ask you about with him. I've not dealt with as many as you have, I'm sure, through your career, being a teen mom. Some shithead sets of parents. He does not have that.
No,
that's his guidance. That his mom and dad are as impressive. I get to watch them at the games. I always find them, and there's no screaming, yelling. Maybe a little, but they are good hockey parents, and that is very important to what you're looking for as a GM and a head coach.
Absolutely. They're second to none. I mean, their character as parents and as fans and supporters is second to none. They've missed 4 games all year, so that tells you how supportive they are.
They don't own a jet.
No,
like they're doing.
They've been putting miles on and spending time in the car and making sure that they're there to support their boys, which is freaking awesome. I mean, and truthfully, at games when we have a bad period or we have let down here or there, and Declan's dad is somewhere where I can find him real quick, I'll ask him, like, hey man, what'd you think? What do we got to do better? Like, he doesn't come to me and say, hey, you got to do this, you got to change that, you got to, all the bullshit. But he's always just like, hey, they're super supportive. He doesn't ever say anything unless we ask, and his mom is the same way. They're super supportive. She takes pictures of every player at the game. They put in a ton that they don't have to, and it's all extra. But that's why Declan and Isaac, as boys, put in so much extra, because they've learned it from their parents.
And that's a lesson that I don't know if I was fortunate enough to grow up the son of a coach, so I know like some of the stupid stuff that you guys have to deal with. But there's a lesson there, and you need to let your kids be coached. And
absolutely.
It's no different than they're going to need to be bossed and work later in life. Like sometimes you have to step back and let the kid make a mistake, or let the lesson be learned from the coach and not the parents.
Absolutely. I just read, so one of my Facebook friends who played for the Wisconsin Badgers, he just posted he coaches youth hockey and high school hockey now back in Wisconsin, but he posted a thing, and it was about the car ride home for youth players. And sometimes the car ride home can be the worst thing for young kids, because I've rode home in cars, my mom was a single mother, so I had to ride to games with other folks and other parents, and some of those car rides home were incredibly negative.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they take the fucking, sorry for swearing.
No, you can swear on this. Yeah, we've been saying,
right.
We've been swearing all year, man.
All right, so some of those car rides home just absolutely wrecked the game for kids.
Yep.
And everything their dad or their mom or whoever it is, their uncle or grandpa is telling them is completely opposite of what the coaches are telling them to do. So then they get confused, and then they have no idea what to do, because they don't want to, they don't want to disappoint their dad, but they also don't want to disappoint the coach. So now they're out there, they have no clue what's happening or what to do. And the car ride home is negative again, because they didn't listen to their dad. They probably got yelled at a little bit in the locker room from the coach for not doing what he wanted them to do, or she wanted them to do, whatever. But it just wrecks it, You have to let your kids be coached, and, you got to let a coach be hard on your kids, because, the reality is life isn't fair, and it's hard, and if they don't understand or learn that lesson at a young age, learning it when you're 18 and 19 and 20 and go to school, that nobody's going to be there to coddle you, or no one's going to tell you what to do in every situation, you're going to fail then, and that's okay. Failing's not always a bad thing as long as you learn from it. But if you don't ever have the chance to learn from somebody else, you're never, success is going to just be harder, not never be successful, but it's going to be a lot harder.
No, and you'll see that I saw it with kids even, through college, and then when you watch, that's my wife and I we are the parents. We're fortunate enough with our girls, we're only on one team all the time.
Yeah.
So when people have to split, we'll throw an extra girl in with us. And
absolutely.
We're very conscious about what we talk about. And some people we might not care enough. I don't give a shit. I had friends that won all kinds of state champions. They didn't turn out worth shit, and other kids got shit beat out of them. They're fine. Like there's more to be learned. There's more to it than just the winning and losing side of it. Like you want to play hard, you want to play to win, but at the same time, there's lessons that have to be learned that you're going to apply later on in life. That's the whole point of point of what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what our mission is here in our organization. Our biggest goal is to create better young men, not hockey players. Hockey player comes second, right after being a better man, like learning how to give and get respect, and how to talk to people, how to compose yourself in public when things don't go your way, how all these lessons that they're going to hopefully carry with them through the years. And I'm not always the best example, but I try to be. And when I fuck up, they let me know,
Yeah.
Sometimes I got my first bench minor this year.
Uh-oh.
My fourth year.
Did you say the magic word?
No.
Okay.
But I just couldn't stand this. And I'm all for being incredibly nice and fair to refs If you talk to a lot of the refs that ref our games, I'm pretty calm. I always do.
I know you're pretty calm because I'm down there.
I know
some. So yeah.
I say something to the refs all the time, but it's only because that I'm doing whatever I can to help the boys. So if there's a questionable call, I might say a couple words or whatever, but leave it at that, move on. But this guy, he felt like he was kind of out to get us, and I'm never that guy. I'm never a victim. I don't play like that. I don't care to be the victim. I don't want to be. But he just was absolutely just throwing this game, and I finally had enough, and I said, there's fucking rules. This game has to be played by, or it's not even fucking playing hockey. And he lit me up. I didn't even I swore, but I didn't swear at him or call him a M or F or whatever, but he didn't like me for whatever reason, and that's okay. But he lit me up, and after that, all the guys are like, you got to calm down. You got to quit talking to the ref. You always want us to be held accountable. We're holding you accountable. And I learned shit too,
Yeah.
These guys teach me just as much as I try to teach them. And it was pretty cool when they were like, hey man, we got this. We got it under control. Just relax. Just be quiet. And I was like, all right, I get it. I'm done.
Yeah, but they had your back.
Yeah, and then we ended up on a 5-on-3, and they absolutely just lit up this penalty kill. We were playing awesome. 5-on-3, they didn't score on us. Turkey was playing out of his mind. He saved probably 10 shots in that 5-on-3. They didn't score on us, and they killed it off. They worked hard for me. They did everything they could, and I couldn't have been more proud in the moment. I was really, really excited. So I learned shit too.
Yeah, you have to be if you're going to get better and grow. And I learned shit at work. I learned shit today.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just part of what's going on. The relationship with the youth program and working with the Learn to Skate and stuff like that, is that as beneficial for you? I saw there were some of the videos you put out with some of the kids and stuff. Is that and I like that some of the boys were very honest about they're still there. They don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Some of them loved it. So
yeah.
Is that part of something too? Is there a responsibility?
There is.
Being at your guys' level and working with the kids?
There is, because those kids, the guys that play for us are those kids' heroes, right? They come to the game and they just think they're the Wayne Gretzky's, they're the Connor McDavids of their lifetime. They don't understand where we're at or who they are or where they come from. They don't care. They look up to them. So staying a part of that program and being a part of that program is extremely important to me and to the community and to those kids. And the kids, those young 4 to 6 or 8, however old they are, they just have the best time, and that is worth it to me. I don't care if they learn how to be extremely good hockey players in the future, but the time that we spend with them, they have fun. And at that age, that's what it's about, is having fun. And if our guys can take an hour out of their damn day once a week to have fun with kids and make hockey fun and hopefully grow the sport here, which is another one of our goals, we're going to do it all the time. And we're never going to shut that relationship off. It's extremely beneficial to the guys too, even the ones that don't like it. There's some days where I don't like it. I get home after practice and then I'm like, oh shit, I got blades and abs, damn it. But then once I'm there and I see all these little kids having a ball and smiling and laughing and having a ton of fun, it's fun for me too then. And I do those interviews because I absolutely love you can't even understand them.
They're so innocent.
Yeah.
They're so, hockey is so,
so
pure for them.
The last one I did, I was like, hey man, what's your favorite animal? He's like, a tiger. I'm like, what's a tiger say? He's like, rawr. He'd get right into it. He wasn't messing around. So they have a ton of fun and I love it. Sometimes I don't love the drive there or love that I have to shut dinner down because I forgot or whatever, but it's a good thing and we're going to keep doing it.
For me, the whole aspect with kids, and I told Tristan this, that when he hit that OT winner, and then after the game, he was out sitting on where the stick rack there, he had the hard hat on, and there was probably a dozen little kids around him. That
that moment was so cool
Yeah.
to see because
All those 12 kids were like, this guy
This is the shit,
is the
right?
best.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the best. He's the coolest fucking dude I've ever met.
Yep.
And he's as humble as they come. So he probably just talking to him, having normal conversations, asking him questions, making him feel comfortable. And he's a really good guy. He does really good with the kids. But yeah, that stuff's extremely important. And hopefully that keeps those kids' interest into staying in hockey instead of playing basketball or I don't know, they call that a sport or whatever. But yeah.
It's not as cool as and this is coming from basketball guy. Hockey's, dude. There's like the two sports that I kind of witnessed it because I did not wrestle, but there is a camaraderie within that wrestling community. But there's a camaraderie within the hockey community, even when you're in a hotel. Okay, so where I was at. So I'm in Riverside, California, for work. That Thursday night we're there. These little boys are coming in. Little boys come in all their hockey gears. They're in suit. These kids are suited up. So I'm visiting with them. We stayed and played cards and stuff with these hockey parents that were from all over it was a mites tournament. And as soon as I told them we were from Wyoming, my daughters play hockey, dude, we were all there's a special clique at any age within hockey folks.
Absolutely. Some of my best friends are hockey folks from places that I've never even been because, you meet them in places like that and you just build a connection right away because you have it's just it's a way of life. It's not something that you just get into for a year and then you decide you're not going to do. I mean, some people do that, but if you get hooked and it's your passion, you can pretty much have a connection with anybody that shares that passion.
Okay, last thing, and then I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming down here tonight and doing all this. That if everything does work out the way it's supposed to, you're going to have one home game a weekend in these series. So
yeah,
let's hypothetically, everything works out the way. How important is it? You sold out that game. I wasn't there. You had the 1,300 and stuff. How important is it to you guys, to the players, and just the overall energy and stuff to the game that people need to come out because this is going to be another step. Doesn't matter what level it is. Playoff hockey is another step up. So
it's a different monster.
Okay.
So yeah, it's extremely important. And when we had the sold out crowd there, it was unlike anything that I've ever been. I've never played myself ever in front of 1,300 people, and that just being a part of it, being on the bench and just looking out into this sea of people that are above the ice, it's an unreal feeling. It kind of chokes you up a little bit the first time you see it because it's like, wow, like we did this. Like, this is crazy. Can't believe we did this. We've accomplished so much. But without the fans and the community support, we don't get even close to where we're at right now. So it's extremely important. And the energy the boys have, the energy when we score and 1,300 people are up and cheers and all them fucking horns that sometimes I don't like them because I can't even hear myself think, but I love them at the same time because it's so loud in there. It's awesome. And it has to get to the other team. I know it does. But it's extremely important, and I want to do the same thing for both games. We possibly could have 2 home games our first round, but hopefully we don't. I mean, It would be awesome to have 2 home games, but I just want to beat them in 2 and look to the next opponent, whoever that is.
Gotcha. Dude, I appreciate it. I appreciate you sitting down with me and the time with the boys and everything. You guys have been...
You have to promise me, though, that you're going to be back.
Are the games going to be at 7?
I don't know.
You got to do 7. So here's what I'm up against, okay? So work-wise, about every 6 years, we go into it's a major outage at work. So starting next Saturday, I will work every single day till Pride Memorial Day. So, and I'm planning on being there, but the games, I work till 5:30.
Okay.
So the games have to start at 7. I will come in my work.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
The Friday games for sure will start at 7.
Okay.
The Wednesday games won't start any earlier than 7. There's
Perfect.
no reason
And I'm
for
good.
it.
I just can't until 5:30. I got to pay bills, and then
Yeah.
after that, I can come do.
Yeah.
I can come do the fun stuff. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. So
Good.
Awesome, dude. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I cannot thank Ethan enough for taking the time to come out, drink a Pepsi, and just conversate. It was nice to chit chat with him and see where he's coming from and see where the focus is moving forward. And they're not done. There were a lot of goals achieved this year. Some they just missed out on, but what I'm excited about, like I told him kind of there at the start, is I feel like Spirit Hall deserves to have good hockey played in it. Fred and his staff do an unbelievably great job of keeping that place in tip-top condition. And facilities like that should be shown off, and it's something that the community should be proud of. So when you are able to bring, 1,500 folks out there. There was a ceremonial puck drop earlier in the season with Commissioner, I think he's a commissioner, Shellstead. He'd never been out to a hockey game there before. And he was blown away seeing the support of the community that came out, the hockey that was played, the speed at which it was played with, and just kind of the show in general that goes on out there. So I hope next week we pack that place. I hope it's a full crowd. If you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, really, we're looking at 2 more home games this season, maybe 3. We win, so we're off. Did that? Didn't help. No, I mean, in all reality, if everything goes well, we got 2 more games. So get out, support the boys as the season wraps up and they continue to push towards getting that berth to head back east for the Fraser Cup. Other side note, every 6 years I run into the issue I'm running in right now. It's my job. So as much fun as I have doing this, and I have had a blast doing this and getting to know all of the young men through the season that I have got to know, meeting the parents that I've got to meet at Old Chicago's or at the game or wherever we've ran into each other, I've enjoyed it. Starting next week, my job, we're going to be a little busy for the next couple of months. I don't know if we're going to get around to doing another one of these before the season's over. If you're watching this, then you know all of the Wilds socials, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. They're on TikTok now. So make sure you find all those places to keep up with the latest and greatest what's going on. I've seen some people asking about the playoff schedule. We don't know yet. We'll know as soon as this weekend's over, and I guarantee you they will have that blasted all over the social media pages, and you guys get your tickets as soon as they drop, man. Get your tickets, because I don't want to see people get turned away because you fiddle farted around and didn't get your tickets in time, because by the letter of the law, technically they can only allow so many people into that place. So, but let's cram every last ass in a seat in there that we can get. So we'll see you guys Spirit Hall next week. Enjoy the weekend off. Keep up on na3hl.com. That'll let you see the other 2 series, kind of where they end up, and talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.